Alrighty, let's see. Should be live streaming. Alrighty. Let's see where we left off here. So we have our client server, and basically we installed VBulletin. And what we want to do now, let me see here. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we are going to finish the integration for that so I can log in with my VBulletin account. So like I create an account, admin on the website, I should be able to log in with that account. I need to finish the integration for it though. So I need to actually modify, give me 1 second here, I actually need to modify some of our PHP scripts in order for this to work. Alright, so first thing first is, I was looking into, so currently, right, when we were signing up to the client, I was using Bcrypt, and instead what I'm going to do, I was looking at if it was worthwhile to integrate Bcrypt into VBulletin, and it actually is, but honestly, the salt makes it very difficult, and I don't plan, I mean, HostGator has a pretty secure network. Also, my passwords are insanely secure, so I'm not super worried about someone ever hacking the VB forms. Let me see here. We changed the password hashing. If we want to use Bcrypt, a much better algorithm, the password hashing will look like this. Yeah. So basically what this is here, this is how we need to now log in and compare the passwords. We're going to do MD5, the password I pass in, and to add this salt, we do that. All right, very, very simple. So what we're going to do here is I need to log into our database. So we're going to go to gamedeveloperbootcamp.com. Alright, and here we logged in with our username admin and my password I set. And I'm going to go to the cPanel because I need to modify how we log in. I want to use our username and username and password fields from the server of VBulletin, not the custom ones that I created. So let's go ahead and log in here. And we'll finish up this integration here. And then the next thing I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to separate the login server to be its own server that's going to handle just the server, and I'm probably going to use Amazon Web Services, the AWS hub for that. We'll look at how to set up an EC2 server. And basically, if you get a successful response code from that, then you'll connect to the Unity game server. That way I'm not relying on Unity to handle logging in. I have AWS to handle that for us. Alright, so let's go ahead here. Let's go ahead and I need to go into File Manager. Actually, you know what? I will need to go into File Manager, but I also need to go into the PHP MyAdmin because I need the table name. So going to Game Developer Bootcamp, let's open up our login script. So inside of PHP data, alright, we're going to do login. And this is going to actually, this is what's going to be changing. So we're no longer going to be using the Bcrypt stuff for our login, because we're going to just use VBulletin now. So the way we're going to do this here is you're going to pass in a username and password. Okay, just like this, passing in the username and password. And then what we need to do now is we actually need to make it work with VBulletin. Alright, so the way we're going to go ahead and do that is we're going to connect. I'm going to take our username, and I'm going to do this thing called a string compare. And basically what I can do with the string compare is if it equals 0, it means that there is a match. Alright, so let me see here. Let's see here. So first thing first is select all from players where username equals the username. That is incorrect. Now it's going to be select all from user where I believe... Let me see here. We got to open up we got to see what the table name is inside of the PHP MyAdmin. Open up PHP MyAdmin. And let's see. Alright, so inside here we're going to go into CodeGay. We have CodeGay forums. Alright, inside here I'm looking for the users. I'm actually not sure where it is. I do not see it. Where is it? I need to get the Maybe it's an access? Huh, hold on. We have tables, content, calendar, Chrome. Okay, interesting. I actually don't know where our users are stored. Are they in access? I don't believe so. No. Okay, weird. I actually don't see the table that hosts the users. All right, hold on. That's a problem. Give me a second here. I want to do a little bit of research. I want to find the table name to pull. Let me see here. Here, we're going to look at VBulletin 4.2 authentication, external authentication. Alright, let's see here. Oh, it's okay. It's in data managers. Here, okay. As it's fine, VBulletin has the following data managers. I want to find users. So where the hell is that? Data store? Huh. No. How the heck do I get the users? Alright, let's see. VBulletin 4.2 external authentication. Let me see. Extension VBulletin user integration. Here we go. Require ones auth plugin VBulletin and VBulletin Milwaukee new auth plugin. No. Shoot, I'm just looking for a query that says select all from a certain table. Alright, let's see here. VBulletin 4.2 external authentication, or VBulletin 4.2 integration. Let's go and just look at something here for a second. Man. Username authentication. Dang it. VBulletin 4.2 username table. Alright, here we go. So here's a list of tables using VBulletin. Okay, weird. I do not have user group or user. Why the heck not? Are those like hidden from me or something? I literally do not see it. Holy shit. Why not? I wonder if I can access it somehow from the back end. Like if I were to go to gamedeveloperbootcamp.com, let's go to the admin panel. Let me see here, styles, templates, no. So we have users, we have user groups, Okay, maybe I have to use this VBulletin API. Let's see here. What is this? VBulletin API is currently globally disabled in your options. For VBulletin API to function correctly, you must enable the API system. You don't have an API key generated yet. Please click the following button to generate one. The API key is required for clients to connect to the forum. You can't change it in the future. Okay, that's terrible that I can't change that in the future. Let me go ahead and see here. API key has been generated successfully. It's currently globally disabled, so let's go ahead and enable that. No, user profile options. Enable VBulletin API. Allow clients to connect to the VBulletin API. Please remember to generate the API here. Yeah. Enable API log. Log API post parameters. Nah. API device identification. Add app and device signatures. No. Alright, I think we're good right there. Alright, actually I don't know how this helps me at all, and I don't actually, you know what, and mobile, nah, this is actually not what I want, so I'm just gonna say no. Shoot, I'm looking for the table I need to access, I don't see it. What's in the API stuff? Database query. Huh. Hold on. All of these, like, okay, here we go. Finally, activity stream. Let me see. Ads, administrator. Alright, here's some tables for the admin stuff. Alright, hold on. User table, PHP MyAdmin, VBulletin 4.2. Spoiler. So let me see here. What query will allow me to reset my admin password? Let's see here. Let's see here. User set password 75. User where user ID equals user ID. Let me see. Dang it. Query VBulletin 4.2 user. Always double quote SQL queries even if they contain no dynamic text. SQL function calls should not be followed by a space. If a query string is long, it would be better written when more than lines separated into separate lines, putting the clause keyword at the start of the line. Alright, let me see here. Select one for two. Shoot, man, I have no idea how to. I'm not seeing where we can query the database here. Hold on, get the versions of files. Oh my gosh, this thing's so annoying. Jesus. Hey, how's it going, Spool? I don't see you, PHP MyAdmin. Alright, let's see here. What is the username and password that user is supposed to use to log in? Nope. PHP MyAdmin not showing all tables. Alright, so I've been running a website from home for a few months now, and suddenly PHP is not showing me all the tables in my SQL database. I thought the database could be corrupt or something. Someone is already had it. Sometimes it looks like this. May not be here, but that is quite an old version of PHP MyAdmin. Did you log in as root? Thank you for pointing that out. I will upgrade after tomorrow. Yada yada. Check your permissions. Sometimes you mess up your table permissions. Alright, yeah, let's go ahead and look at our permissions. It could be that let me see here. Should have all permissions, but maybe I don't. User. Privileged users, CodeGate forums. Yeah, he has access to everything. So what the heck? Why don't I see this? I'm trying to make a modification user.php admin cp user.php so only super admins can delete users. Alright, here we go. Select all from user where username equals your basically user and stuff like that. I don't know if that's the table name. I can't see it. If your old system used unsalted hashes, VBulletin uses salted ones. And if you want users to keep their passwords, you have to modify both to unsalted ones too. VBulletin user. Finally caught up on past videos. Hey, do you know if you access SQL Server Express 2016 with Unity? I'm not using SQL Server Express, but yes, you can. You could totally do it. Any type of database, whether it's MySQL, NoSQL, Cassandra, or whatever else is out there, yeah, absolutely, you can use it with Unity. We're using MySQL because of the VBulletin forums, but actually what I'm going to start doing is I may look into AWS for a NoSQL database for like our inventory and stuff like that. I am going to separate our login client server, and that's going to be what's it called? It's going to be separated so that the game world isn't focused on incoming connections. I'm going to have that separated into an AWS hub, which I'm also going to show you guys how to set up using AWS. We're going to walk through that together. What I like about your live shows is that you show yourself how to research and look for answers. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, there's no such thing as a programmer out there who just knows how to do everything off the top of his head. Oftentimes you'll see that in like tutorial videos, right? How did they just know how to do that? Chances are, and I'm guilty of this too, I created the tutorial and the product beforehand, and I already know how to do it, so I know how to kind of teach it to you. The only difference between me and them is my tutorials, I actually will oftentimes just do that tutorial from scratch. So if I do, screw it up, then you can figure out with me how I solve it. But yeah, no. The whole point of being a software engineer, at the end of the day, guys, I'm a professional Googler. Like literally, that's what a software engineer is. It's someone who knows how to Google. There's no reason to recreate the wheel on everything and bang my head against it. Someone else has had this issue, and I can just find it online. Now, this stuff here is related to web development. And I hate web development with a passion. I enjoy this type of web development, but when it doesn't work, it can be super frustrating. Just because I'm only familiar with very basics of PHP web development. So I always get a forced close exception whenever I try to access that database. Okay, yeah, so chances are your web server or wherever you're doing it is denying your IP address. It's denying your connection. So you may want to contact them. How long have I been a software engineer for? I've been programming, in total, I've been programming for 8 years. I've been a professional software engineer for 5 years. So I count professional as how long have I been making money for a living doing this? It's been 5 years. But, and I'm completely self-taught. All right, let's see here. So I am looking for this table of where my users are stored. Oh, wait a minute. I have 4 pages of this stuff. There we go. Okay, here we go. I found my users. Jeez, I wish I would have saw that 20 minutes ago when I started the stream. Hey, Dracon, if it's a local database, something is closing the connection. Let me see. I always get a forced close exception. It could be that you're using a command that might be killing it. So if you get an error, like in PHP, right, there's a command called, you can do a command or die, and that die function basically will close the connection if there's an error. You may have something similar to that. So if I don't like web development, what type of projects do you do for a living? Yeah, so I'm a software engineer for desktop and mobile applications. And like augmented reality, virtual reality. My day job is creating state-of-the-art casino software for the industry, and that's classified as like desktop software, I guess you could say. But yeah, I don't care for web development. Anything with like HTML5, CSS, and full stack using JavaScript and Node.js. I love, and Ruby on Rails is a good one too. I love the concept and the idea of it, and I've tried to learn it. And I can do basic full stack development, but I am not nowhere near passionate about it. PHP, working with SQL databases and MMOs, I enjoy that section of it. But using full stack development in the real world, it's not for me. You have to really be passionate about that. And for me, my passion lies in desktop and mobile software. So I tried web, and it just wasn't for me. I'm not as passionate about it. It's pretty difficult. All right, so check this out, guys. Here's what I need. So I'm going to be accessing the user table, column, username. So I'm going to say user, column, username. So I'm going to check to see if the user exists. If it does, I'm going to check for user, then password. And that's what I want. All right, so let's see here. So we're going to go into the select all from user, where username equals my username. And then we're going to do select all from password. Select all from user, where password equals the password on the web service. So let's go ahead here, and sorry guys, I'm showing you guys people's email addresses. People decided to sign up, I guess, on this. Dracon, yeah, so you could use a try-catch setup to do some debugging to see if you are accidentally closing the connection yourself. Isn't everything mobile now? No, not everything, man. Look at Steam. Mobile is not going anywhere. I mean, desktop applications, there's a VR is all desktop. There is some VR mobile, like you can use like the Samsung Galaxy for some VR, but in my opinion, it's not that great. Right now, the Vive is killing it in the VR world. So I'd say no, there's plenty of room for just desktop and mobile. If you don't want to do web-based stuff, if you don't want to create Facebook, there's still a job for you as a software engineer. It's not going away. Game development in a whole isn't going anywhere. All right, so let's go ahead and modify this. So I need to open up this login.php script. We got to modify how I'm doing this, because currently I was doing it where I have my own username and password database, but now I want to use VBulletins. So check this out. So we create our connection, and I say MySQL select. We're still going to select the database. The database name, however, is going to be not CodeGay MMO, but CodeGay Forums. So I want to access the CodeGay Forums. That's going to hold our connection. I'm going to get the username and password from Unity. Okay. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to select all from players. That's no longer correct. It's all from users, right? all from users, user, not plural. Select all from, wait a minute, what am I in here? What did I do here? Did I open two of these guys? My bad. All right, so here you go. So check it out. So select all from user where username equals the username we pass in. Let me make sure that username is spelled exactly how it is in the database. And it is. Username. Good deal. So I'm going to compare the usernames. All right, so here MySQL Query is going to be stored in that result. So while row equals MySQL fetch array result, this is going to grab all of the usernames. So if password, so basically, if this row, if we even make it in here, then the username exists. So row equals MySQL fetch result. So that means we found admin for my username at least. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to check the password. So here, password verify, password, the row password, this is using the Bcrypt stuff. We're no longer doing that. So what I need to now do is I've checked for the username, and I found this string compare I want to use for the password. Looking for, so here's how I get the MD5 salt, like this. By default, VBulletin is the very basic and easy to crack password hashtag. Ignore that. Let me see here. So let's see, we made it this far. So here we're going to process the query, select all from users where username equals that, row equals our query result. So we found admin. Now what I need to do is not password verify. I need to do something else here. Where did that go? Hold on, guys. I'm looking for it. I had it up here. There was a special implementation I wanted to do. This is right here. Alright, so I want to do this compare method here, how they're doing it. So check this out here. So they connect to the database, your query, select all from users, yada yada, if your username, right? And then here they do it with the password. So here we have the password in the database. Okay, this is what I wanted to see. Generate correct password to compare with the SQL database. I'm not really familiar with how to generate the salt, so I just want to see if this is going to work. So basically they have a variable for database password that's going to hold it. And we're going to say MD5 password input .SQL row salt. I don't know if we need to do that. I'm going to put that on the other monitor for a minute. What's up, onesie guy? Let me see here. I'm just catching up on the chat, guys. True, I love Mech Warrior Online. It's a hey dude, can't stay, but just wanted to say thanks for the C# tubes. Helped me learn C# and didn't need to do it at uni, so I could free up space for something else. Awesome, man. I love your last name because I love wine and burgers. Yummy. Thanks, dude. All right, so let's go ahead and let's go ahead and do this. So I'm going to use this implementation here. So it looks like I can get the salt just like this. So basically, this line of code here, this line of code is going to create the salt for my password. So here, I should be able to say, I'm going to go ahead and create a new variable. We're going to call it, we're going to say pass with salt, I guess. Yeah, pass with salt equals this, MD5, the password I pass in from Unity. Alright, so the password I pass in from Unity, which is here, password, and then here I'm adding the salt to it. I'm assuming somehow it automatically does that. I don't need this require once password thingy anymore. Let's see here. I'm going to just save this real quickly. Alright, so pass with salt equals the MD5, the password I pass in, and I'm going to add the salt, and now what we need to do is we need to compare that. So I need to say here, password verify was using Bcrypt. We're no longer going to do that. And instead, what we're going to do is a compare string, or a string compare. So I'm going to say here, if string compare, so strcmp, string compare, and the username, okay, so we're going to say username, let me see here. So I believe it takes a username and then something to compare it with. So username, comma, and then basically the password of this. So we're going to say, I need actually a query for that. Shoot, actually. Hold on. I need to actually get that row. I don't know if I can do that. Hold on. I need to grab a row. Let me see if there is a SQL row. MySQL query. www or w3. I don't know if I can do that. Hold on, let me see here. MySQL fetch array. Shoot. Let me see here. Okay, here we go. SQL row. Use filter array on whole array or inside. No. None of that. Let me see. Select all from. Alright, hold on. Let's do this instead. Check this out. Alright, so here this result equals MySQL query. The select all from user where username equals that. So here this is going to be results. We're going to say username result, and then here we're going to go and do password result equals MySQL query. Right, and I'm going to reuse that query to do something else. And we'll say or die Alright, so here what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the variable query and I'm going to reassign it. It's like a variable, you can just reassign it over and over again. So I already did the username result, now I'm going to do the password one. So query equals we're just going to copy that line. And we're going to say here, query equals select all from user where password, right? And that is how it's spelled, right? Where password, let's see here, where password equals the password received. All right, now before I can do that, I believe I actually need to convert the MD5 stuff. So I need to go ahead and say here, query equals select all from user where password equals, let me see here. Select all from user where password equals the password I pass in. The problem with that is it's never going to equal the password I pass in. So I actually need to salt my password right now. Let me see here how to do that. How do I salt the password? Generate correct password to compare with. Oh, okay, hold on. I need to do this. I need to say, I need to take my password that I got from Unity, and I'm going to store it in a new one. So we're going to say MD5 password equals MD5, and we're going to pass in my password variable, and then dot, I think I can do this, SQL underscore row salt. And actually I prefer not to do it this way. I think this guy had it right. Yeah, we can do this. The question is, how the hell does it know that how it's done? Let me see here. Verify password. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Wait a minute. There is a verify password. What does this password function do? Regenerate the salt when the password is changed. Password equals hash password. Okay, it's doing it for me. So you know what? Hold on. I think I can actually do verify password. I think I can actually leave it exactly how I had it set up. I didn't realize VBulletin used the same thing. Okay, I think we can do this. Alright, so hold on here. I'm going to close this. I'm going to re-upload the login here. just to get a fresh start because we're going to redo that. So here we're going to say upload, choose a file. Should be able to drag this. No? Maybe? Ah, god damn it. Hold on. Alright, let's see here. PHP MMO files, login.php. There we go. Alright, we're going to replace it. Yep. Alright, let's go back here. Alright, we're going back to the file manager. Hey, what's up, Dan? Welcome to the stream, dude. Keep doing this, Jonathan. It's good. My final MS project was mobile, web, and desktop. Yeah, I prefer mobile and desktop software. That's where my passion lies. Alright, so let's see here. So we are going to... Okay, I got to reopen that. Game Developer Bootcamp / cPanel. Let's go ahead and log in here. Come on. Security tokens missing. Alright, so let's go to the file manager. Let's redo this bit. I want to use this method here to MD5 salt the password, and then we can use that password verify. The only thing I will need to do, I believe, is let me see here. I will need to include something, I believe. I'm not 100% sure. Let's see, PHP data, login. Alright, let's go and see. Anyone here like the American sport football? Or any sport for that matter? Yeah, I'm a Buccaneers fan. Alright, let's see here. So we're going to use the database forums. And the user we're going to use is also forums, because now we're working with VBulletin. Alright, so I don't need any of this. I don't know if I need to require something, though. That's what's making me nervous. But we'll find out. So here I'm just going to say, well, row equals MySQL fetch row. We're going to say if password verify. The only problem with this is I have no idea what it's using here. I don't know if I need these top namespaces at all, or even if there's like a login PHP script I should use automatically. You know what I mean? So let's go ahead and see what happens here. If I do password verify, password, and then let me see here. I want to take this. We're going to do username and password, select all from user, where username equals the username we pass in, so we get that result. And then here, if password verify, the password I pass in, but we're going to MD5 salt it, we're going to say MD5 password matches what's in the database. So for row, for that row, which is this guy, we're changing the row and we're getting the password, and we're comparing it now. Okay, this should work. So row equals my entire admin. So my row for my admin, guys, is all of this. Here's my row, and I have my column user ID, my column user group, and so forth. So I'm checking that row for the username and now row for the password. Okay. And let's see if there's anything else I really need to do here. We have a matching username and password, login die 0. Okay, this might work, hopefully. I am honestly not 100% sure. This database password is incorrect. I don't know what the database password is unless I have it written down here, which I think I do. Sweet. Okay, let's go and replace this guy. Alright, we'll save that and let's go and test this out. So if I go to Game Developer Bootcamp /login.php, if there's no errors, then we're good. And there you go. Alright, so let's go ahead and check this out. So I should be able to log into the game now using my username and password from the forums. So let's go ahead and start the server up. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and start the client. So server is running. Kind of. Is it running? Okay, server's on. Let's go to the client, log in. Carry a pay account. Let's say, cool. I have an idea for a mobile sport app where you can play against other online or your friends. What do you think about the idea? I mean, mobile sports apps. If you can, you can make it. There's, I mean, there's quite a few of the. Well, it depends on what you want to do. There's a lot of sport apps out there, very popular too. Imagine you get a text or message, all based decision. Okay, you got a unique twist on it. Very cool. Has Jonathan Weimer has just kicked off to you. What play would you like to call? Return left. Oh, okay, I see. So like a turn-based kind of strategy sports game. Yeah, actually, that would be pretty cool. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. All right, so let's go and log in here with my credentials from VBulletin. And let's see here. Hashes are the same. Okay. Well, oh my gosh. And would you look at that? Login successful. All right, we successfully hooked up Unity with VBulletin software. So why is that so important for why I want to do that, guys? It's because now I can literally connect the game accounts to VBulletin. So what I'm going to do is basically we're going to be saving all of our inventory and our banks, and like our bank inside of VBulletin. And what I can do from the admin panel is I can, or mod panel, if you're a moderator in the game, is you can actually go to the website and you can check what items are in the bank of a specific user. You can also send messages to a user on the forum, and I can notify you in game that you received the forum message. So that's the long plan. That's the long-term goal of why I'm using VBulletin. But also it's just more secure. So check it out. What if I forget my password, right? Well, now I don't have to worry about you contacting me about your password. You can just go ahead and change the password on VBulletin, and then whatever password you change it to is now going to work in game. All right, so that's why VBulletin integration is just awesome. So what we're going to do here, let me just make sure that this did work properly and it wasn't a fake. I'm just going to go ahead and make a wrong password here, and it should say that the username login is incorrect. All right, we actually have a bug here now. So check it out. Everything is turning successful. Oh, okay, and that's because here's the response received from server. Let me see here. We got the response data, default server. Okay, weird actually. Hold on. How did it parsed this to a 0? What? Hold on 1 second here. Oh, we were so close. All right, 1 second here. Game Developer Bootcamp. It downloaded. It looks like it downloaded. The hell did it download? Looks like it downloaded my session. Like my session ID on the forum. All right, definitely not what we wanted. No way. Contains unread forum posts. Okay, basically it looks like it downloaded my user. And like my session for that user. Let me see. What did we do wrong? Response received from server. Get string response data. I'm curious how did request code become a 0 though? Alright, 1 sec. We gotta look at, let me see. Login.php, edit. Alright, let's see here what we did. Forums. Alright, so I pass in a username and password. I say create variable to store. I say query select. Here, you know, let's try this. I think I can do, I think I can query that like this. I can say gamedeveloperbootcamp.com/login.php. Oops. Hold on. It's like lagging here. Login.php, and I think I can say username equals like admin, plus password equals test. No. Shoot. Alright, one sec. I gotta look at the script to do that. Hold on. I want to do login VBulletin PHP external. Alright, this looks like what I'm getting, a character set. A few days ago we were installing so we had a PHP script that just authenticating based upon their username and password. Start login script, define. Okay, I'm not using any of that stuff. Oh, okay, hold on. Below are the lines that enter code. Okay, so I think I do need this VB path. Maybe API interface, login info, API, call API, user, login, array, username, password. The solution works as far as authentication is concerned. After we submit user credentials, users get authenticated. The issue response is always setting is UTF-8, and then when the authentication response sets all the accents. Okay. There are a couple issues of the character set. Right now we have character set UTF-8 in all of our HTML5 pages. Let's see. Nice. Yeah, man. I think it's a cool idea, dude. Let's see. Especially for someone who, like, you don't have, you want a quick game, like those quick time games and stuff like that. It's like games that you can play in, 10 seconds. Those are games that are always successful. Alright. Where did I go wrong? Hold on. Let's see here. Verify user password, PHP VBulletin 4.2. Alright, let's see here. Whether using it match any of the database. I don't think it's using what I'm looking for. I'd use a script in PHP. Alright, let's see what this link is. Alright, hi all, my database name is test, yada yada. I have a table name called log, which has two fields, name, the user, and password. I have given username and admin and password is admin, yeah. No, this isn't what I want. Alright, one second here. VBulletin integration. Let me see what that root server implementation was. Yeah, this guy over here, what did he do? Alright, it looks like MySQL Connect. I don't see him using like any actual things. SQL row, this query here. Kind of confused how his even works, if it even does. Try to connect with the specified SQL server. Your host, your username, your password. You're selecting the database. What's interesting is that we're not actually getting any errors. Ugh, why PHP, why? Let me see here, what am I doing wrong? Okay, 1 second actually, hold on. If password verify, MD5, yada yada. Okay, so regardless, it actually should be printing out. Oh, duh. Guys, sorry. I never updated my URL to send this stuff to on the server, I believe. If we go to the server, I think I'm actually going to the wrong web address. So if we go to the network manager, and if we go to the login request, yes, this is incorrect. It's no longer login.php. That is what the VBulletin is using. I am using PHP data /login.php. Now let's go ahead and try this. All right, and I'm going to try it with a incorrect username to see if it still logs me in for whatever reason. All right, so now what we're going to do here, we're going to server's on, we're going to log into our client. All right, we're going to go ahead and we're going to say admin. We're going to say test. I'm going to hit submit. And let's see here. Now we have a new problem. The remote server returned an error. WebAsync result. All right, so we got an error. Why did we get an error? Web exception. The remote server returned an error. I'm assuming I did not go to the right page, if I had to guess. Let me see here. It should be gamedeveloperbootcamp.com /php data /login.php. And you'll see here that that is actually not a script. So what the hell did I do? Where is this file hosted? All right, let's see. Public HTML, Game Developer Bootcamp, clients. What are we in? PHP data. Login.php. Isn't that what I did? PHP data, login.php. PHP data /login.php. What the hell? Why is it doing that? Oh, you know what? My permissions. Hold on. Alright, make them 644 like the rest. And now let's go ahead and try that. Submit. Alright, you have entered an invalid, check it out. You have entered an invalid username and password. Now I'm going to go ahead and enter in my actual forum password. And it did not take it. Why the fuck not? Invalid username and password. Let's see here. Oh, you know what? I think it's because I am sending my password. I am sending my password already encrypted inside MD5, and I think that may be screwing it up. Because then it's taking the MD5 and using their salt. So I need to actually maybe disable that. Let me go ahead and check here. I was doing that client side. I'm actually going to be really sad if I have to stop using that, because that was a way so that anyone can send data over the client and not have to worry about their password being seen or sniffed out. But let me see here. So if we go into login request, let me disable all the security stuff. Always follow your passion in life, and you miss 100% of the shots you never take. Yeah, exactly, dude. Always do what you love. All right, so let's go ahead and see here. We're gonna say password equals encrypt password. We're not gonna do that anymore. All right, we're just gonna pass in our password. I'm not gonna encrypt it. Let me go ahead and see here. Encrypt password is using all that good stuff. Yeah, we're not gonna do that anymore. All right, let's go ahead and process server response, client instance send, handle request. Okay, good deal. Let's go ahead and run this. Let me see. Gifs rock. Check out giphy.com sometime. Hilarious. Enter that password, baby. Alright, let's see here. Let me see. Let's go ahead and start the server. And we're going to log in and we're going to send the password over unsecurely. Alright, so we're going to say admin test. You have entered an invalid username or password. Now I'll put in the actual password. And still you have an invalid username or password. So something isn't adding up. And if I had to guess, guys, it's probably the MD5 salt. I don't think I'm grabbing it properly. Let me check something here too. What happens if I query that? Alright, regardless, it's just giving me a 1. So let's go ahead and look at this and see what's going on here. See why it's being such a pain in the ass. I know, right? A+ for effort. Gosh. Sometimes this VBulletin, this is my problem with PHP and web stuff. It's just it's so painful because I don't know enough about it to understand why things don't work. But I have a good guesstimation of what's wrong. Let me see here. We're gonna go into our cPanel, open this guy up. Make sure I saved. All right, so here's what's happening, guys. Right, basically what's happening is we're not even getting in here. The reason why I know that is because when I go to the website, it just returns this 1 to me. So here, we didn't even find someone with the same username as us, I'm assuming. So select all from user where username equals that. I just want to know if we even found the username. So I'm going to go ahead and say die found username, and I'm going to go ahead and say, whoops, hold on. Let's go ahead and do this. Alright, yeah, let's do this. I'm going to go ahead and say die 4. Let's just do a die 4 if we found the username. We're going to go ahead and say, here we go, echo. Yeah. We'll go ahead and say echo count found. And we'll go ahead and do the result. So we're going to say row. Let me see here. Yeah, let's do it in here actually. If we even make it in here, it should be that the username exists. So let's just get that log. Alright, and let's go ahead. And also it just occurred to me too, I wonder if it's case sensitive, the usernames. What is the username? Is it capital A admin or lowercase a admin? Alright, it's lowercase admin. Username exists. Alright, 1 second, I need to go to the server. And I want to go ahead and get the request string here. So debug the log response received from server. Okay. I think we can do that. Alright, let's go ahead. Let's send admin over. Alright, so check it out. The username exists. Alright? The username exists. Now, let me add the encryption back, and I'm curious to see if it still exists. Let's go into the login request. And we'll do that. We're going to password encrypt. keep the server running is fine. Right, we're going to say admin with T. Alright, so login success is wrong, but it says response to see if the username does exist. So let me make sure I did that right. What happens if I do a username that I know doesn't exist? Because I feel like it's just going to say that for everyone. Let's see here. Alright, we connect to the server, and here we're going to go ahead and say Toyota. Alright, here we go. So the username did exist, so you haven't entered an invalid username. Now if I go ahead and do, here, let's do one of the other usernames that's on the database. Who else do we have in there? Alright, let's do Gold Mato. Do that username. So if I log in here with Gold Mato. Okay, so it says here username exists. Alright, that's all we want. Alright, so the username part's good. Now we just need to actually encrypt the password with their salt, which I think is where the issue is now. So basically, the salt that I'm getting is it's doing absolutely nothing. So let's go ahead. Alright, so here, the username exists. So this is good. So we're good here, okay? Now, well, row equals MySQL fetch array, result, if password verify, and then MD5 hashtag salt. That is the problem. So here, the result is storing the user we're with, and I'm going to the row's password, but it's not matching my password. So I'm assuming that I'm forgetting something to actually make this MD5 encryption work. So VBulletin MD5 salt PHP. Let's see here. User password field and VBulletin user salt correctly. I don't know if this answer is too late, but you should be able to automatically transfer your passwords into VBulletin. VBulletin generates its hashes this way. MD5 dot, but how does it know what that is? So to transfer these over, do roughly the following. No. Use VBulletin salt generation method. It's in the VBulletin data manager user class. Oh, maybe that's how I do it. User class. This worked for me. Yeah, but what do I need to include for that to work? Let me see here. Where user then set user member, yada yada, function VBulletin group ID. Alright, I found a bunch of MD5 stuff from functions, login.php. Which one of those actually encrypt the password? MD5 password salt, I believe. Check login.php and see how it's done there. Well, you know what? That's a great idea. Let's do that. So we're going to go to the PHP login script for VBulletin. Okay. And we're going to edit this. Alright, let's see how it works. There must be something here. Require backend. Okay, you know what? I'm assuming I'm going to need this here. So I'm going to go ahead and say here, require once, which, let me see how I did that. Just like that. Alright, so I need to acquire once login.php. So in order to do this, we're going to go over here. I'm going to say require once password.php, require once login.php, but it's going to be .. And what that's going to do is it's going to say that one directory back, get the login.php. So save that. Maybe now this password verify method will work. Let me see if there is a password verify method. Okay, believe it or not, there is not. Here, VBlogin MD5 password. This was a request action, but start do login, but where do we all log in via requests? Can the user log in? Checks if you're banned. Make sure our user info stays as whoever we were. Example, we might be logged in via cookies already, yada yada. It's for lost password. Alright, not super helpful. But it may have stuff I need, I'm not sure. Let me see here. I am going to save. Alright, let's see if there's any errors on this thing now. Let's go ahead and go to gamedeveloperbootcamp.com/php data/login.php. Alright, here we go. Require once global PHP failed to open stream, no such file or directory in gamedeveloperbootcamp.com/login.php on line 41. Okay, yeah, I did not like that. Dang it. Hold on. MD5 VBulletin salt PHP. Alright, let's see. I have VBulletin encrypts using salt, and the user's salt combination can be found in the database name salt. Now I have a C++ that requires the user to log in with their form username and password. For now, this barely works. The user is only able to log in if they know what their encrypted password is. Since my PHP script that talks to the DB doesn't encrypt the password. Here's my PHP script that I used to talk to the database. Check info, select all from user where username equals the user. MySQL fetch associate, I'm not sure what that one is. Check info equals select all from user where member groups ID equals ID. User info, MySQL fetch check info. Okay. So if user equals user info username and pass equals user info password and ID equals that, echo true as false. Alright. Let's see here. First up, the password is not encrypted as if it was, you could decrypt it. It is hash. Second, I'm not sure what your question is, but I'm sure your C++ talks to the MySQL database. You can find a C++ version of MD5, the salt from the database to figure out. Send the password entry into C++ into that PHP script. Run it and get back a hash version of the password and use that for validation. But you will have to either make a remote web page call or the location is local to the server. Make a call to PHP to run the script using PHP. That's what we're doing. Let's see here. Alright, here we go. Include user add slashes check info. No. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, okay, interesting. Hold on. Does my user have a salt attached to it? If I go into the PHP MyAdmin, let me see here if I have a salt key. Inside user. Oh, there is. I may have a salt table in here. Oh my gosh, here you go, guys. Everyone gets a unique salt. Very, very cool. Alright, that's what I want. I want that guy. So here we go. So here's what we're going to do. All right, I'm not going to do this login stuff. I don't need that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to say if password verify. Now, I don't know if that function actually does anything, honestly. But what I am going to do is if password verify md5 password dot salt, and what we need to say is I need to add my salt to it. So I need to grab my salt. Now, where is that rune server implementation? Because that guy was doing it through the row. Here we go. I'm going to add my salt to my password. So here I'm going to say if password verify md5 password and I'm adding my salt matches the password in the database, then login success. Let's try that. If this works, fantastic. If it doesn't, back to the drawing board. Server's on. Connected. Let's go ahead and do admin. We're going to do just a fake one test. You've entered an invalid username or password. Promising. I'm going to add my real password. And is that right? Did it say invalid there? Damn it. Oh, well, you know what? I added that encryption back. Hold on, let me remove the encryption again. Test that. This login request, we don't want to encrypt our password. Anyone ever play Ikara Warriors? No, I've never played that. This lecture is salty. Yeah, this lecture is being a pain in the ass. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and log in. Alright, connected to this server. We're going to say admin. We're going to say test. Alright, you have an invalid username and password. Good. Let's go ahead and use the proper one. And once again, invalid. Why the fuck? Alright, hold on. You know what? That's what I want to do. I want to do string compare now instead of that password verify, because I'm almost certain that's not doing anything, if I had to guess. This password verify, instead, I want to do if string compare, which is strcmp. I want to compare this guy with this guy. And if string compare, hold on, I need another parenthesis, I believe. Right, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or maybe I do have the right ones. Did I already add that? Okay, yeah, MD5 password dot row salt row password. Alright, cool. And what we're going to do here is we're going to check to see if string compared equals 0. I believe if it equals 0, it's a success. It means that, yes, they match. It means our character, basically. So we're stringing comparison. If the character is remaining after the comparison is 0, that means they match. Let's see here. Let me make sure that is correct how that's used. So string compare PHP. By the way, W3 Schools is an amazing resource. Basically what it's going to do is compares two strings with the difference that you can specify the number of characters which are going to be used in the comparison. Alright, 0 if the two strings are equal. Good deal. Let's try that. Save. Make sure I don't have any errors. Alright, no errors. Let's go ahead and log in. Is the server still running? Yep. All right, we'll go ahead and say username admin and login. Yes! Finally. Oh my gosh, is that actually working? Let me make sure that wasn't just a false positive. Admin T. Yay. Admin, my actual password. Success. Okay, done. Finally, integration with VBulletin finished. Jesus, what a pain in the dick. Alright, so now we have that login successful. Now I am curious to know if I can still encrypt my MD5 password going over the network, because that's what I would really like to do. And I guess I could decrypt it going back, but I would prefer to send it over the web encrypted. So let me go ahead and add this back. The login request, and let's see if it still works. Otherwise, what I may need to do is I'm going to send it encrypted and I'm going to decrypt it on the server. That way it's still secure. And then I'll send back the raw password to the web server. Alright, so now that we actually are integrated though, let me go ahead and just retest this real quickly. Now that we are completely, now that we are like working and stuff like that, is I want to separate the login system to not use Unity at all. So I want it to run on its own server off of Amazon. So let's go ahead and server is on. I want to go ahead and just connect here with this and see if I can send an MD5 password. So we're going to log in with admin test. Alright, you entered in invalid, and let's try my actual one. Alright, yeah, so it doesn't work if I encrypt it, which isn't the end of the world. I would like to use MD5 encryption. Now, the only problem with that is, shoot, actually, you know what? It might be for nothing that we did all this good stuff. Hold on. I'm trying to think here how we can do this. Because what I could do is on the server, because I'm going to separate it out anyways, I'm going to have this server dedicated to just logging in people. And when someone logs in, what's going to happen is it's going to route you to the game server. And the game server is going to be where all the performance stuff is. So let's go ahead and let me see about this. Let me see if I can unhash an MD5 here. Decrypt MD5 hash C#. Let me see if I can hash it to a string. How to convert MD5 hash values to string. I have convert string to value. String has equals convert to MD5. It returns hash value. Uses hash values. I need to get the string called. How can I achieve this? Okay, yeah, so hash, the whole point of hash function is that they're a one-way hash. Once you run a string through a hash function, it's theoretically impossible to get back the original string. Damn it! Alright, I'm trying to think what I can do then for this. No, I want you to be able to use your forum username and password. So I think, yeah, I've used Xamarin. Xamarin is awesome. Personally, I prefer Unity even for real-world applications. I worked for a tech startup that did real-world applications in Unity. The reason why I didn't like Xamarin, dude, is because I had to design the UI twice, and that pissed me off. It was cool being able to share the business logic and use C#6, but I hated creating the UI and using Xamarin or XAML to develop UI. It was just awful. Plus, Unity 5 actually runs at native speeds just like Xamarin does. When you compile your mobile app, it compiles with a internal lib to C++ compiler, which runs at native speeds. So it converts all your C# to C++. So really, there's no performance difference between Xamarin and Unity, other than the fact that Xamarin lets you use the latest C#, as well as Xamarin has a lot of the native plugins built into it. Other than that, though, dude, you can use Unity. You're good. Let me see here. So, all right, so here we go. So we're done. We got the login client server done, and we are successfully connected with our registration here. So just to test this out again, I'm going to actually go to gamedeveloperbootcamp.com. I'm I'm going to register on my form, and I just want to make sure that this is going to work. So I'm going to log out of admin. Alright, and what we're going to do here, we're going to register. And I'm going to register with the name Xana. And my password. My email address will be johnxana@xana.com. My email address, confirm, xana@xana.com. And then JFSAQ4, no idea. Refer as admin. Alright, complete the registration. Alright, the string you entered for the image verification did not match. Well, god damn it. You know what? I think I might disable that. I hate these image verifications. PJRAAC. Alright, complete the registration. Alright, thank you, Xana. You may now proceed. Actively, you can simply go to the forums. Alright, good deal. So Xana's logged in here. Now let's go to the game. Alright. And let's log in as Xana. Why do you want to develop your game using Xamarin? Hey, what's up, Crick? So Xana, and we're going to do a fake password. Network client send when not connected to a server. Whoops. I shut the server off. There we go. Alright, now we're connected. Let's go ahead and log in with Xana and test. Xana, test. Alright, you've entered an invalid username or password. If I do the actual password, I've inventor. Oh, wait a minute. Did I forget to? Please tell me I did. Yes. Okay, good. Alright, I got scared. I was encrypting it over the client. Let me just disable that real quickly. Wow, Unity is like frozen right now. What the fuck? Dude, my entire keyboard is like not working. Alright, looks like. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. This is the server. Let me go to the client. What's up? Huh? Okay, like 5 minutes. Let me see here. I want to go to login request. I want to remove the encryption. Dude, all of my things are locked. Read only. Wow, what did I do? Why are they read only? Shit, what did I do? I made all of my stuff read only. Holy shit. Hold on. Accidentally made Visual Studio read only. Alright, I must have done something wrong. I have a C# project. All of a sudden I see lock on my classes. Yeah. Do you have any type of source control in these files? Have you added the project to source control? Have you marked embarrassing? But my issue is that I somehow by accident started the debugger. Yes, I did. Oops. Nice. Alright, here we go. So, password encryption. We don't want to encrypt the password. So now I'm going to go ahead and start the server. I'm going to start the client. And I'm going to log in with Xana. And it should be nice and successful. Xana. And success! We are logged in, and if you weren't here before, we did finish our chat system. And we have a functioning chat system, which is awesome. Which will also probably be separating out into its own server. So the next thing I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to separate the login client server to where now the login client server isn't actually going to be handled in Unity at all. From Unity client side, I'm actually going to send it to a dedicated server that's going to be hosted on Amazon Web Services. It's going to be responsible for just logging in, and if it logs in successfully, it will connect you to the game server of Unity. Alright, so that's what I'm going to probably do in the next stream. It's like 10, almost 10:30 here. What time is it? It's 10 o'clock here. So I'm going to go ahead and shut it down here. But let me go ahead and just update these notes here. Finishing up the VBulletin integration. Completed the VBulletin login registration integration. Done. And then deploy to iOS, Android, and Windows phones. My favorite RPG of all time is Dragon Dogma. That's why I want to develop my game using Xamarin and then deploy. So you can use Unity and just deploy to all of those as well. Yeah, Xamarin, like I said, Xamarin was cool because you get the latest stuff and you can get native UI and it has a lot of native plugins built into it. But performance-wise, if that's why you're choosing it, I mean, it's hit or miss. I mean, you could talk to anyone about it, but it's definitely a preference. I didn't enjoy having to create my UI twice. Honestly, if I want a native UI, I can just easily create the native UI in Unity without a problem. So, but no, you know, they say use the best tool for the job. If I had to use Xamarin, you know, I could, but personally, I don't. What's it called? I don't care for Xamarin. I used it because I thought it was neat, and then I realized that the new Unity 5 compiler, when it converts it to C#, it runs just as fast as Xamarin. So it was really just like, well, that was a waste of time. Alright guys, I'm going to be logging off here. Next time we're going to work with Amazon Web Services. So if you never used like Microsoft Azure or AWS Mobile Hub, we're going to use a lot of their services. Like for instance, we're going to create what's called an EC2 server, which is an EC2 server is basically a web version of C#. So I can write C# code in the web, and it's basically gonna handle our login server. And then I'm also gonna set up a MongoDB, which is basically a NoSQL, very low latent, highly low latency database, which we're gonna use to basically store our inventory and our bank. And then what I think we'll do is we'll probably we may use that. It depends. There's two ways I want to do this. I'd like to be able to access from VBulletin the inventory and the bank of players in game. So I may need to create a separate call to AWS to retrieve that from VBulletin, or I just save it to VBulletin. But when you're saving data like that, I need data that can be sent very quickly and without delay, and MySQL is not really the best for that. MySQL is more so the best for login registration, but when I'm constantly keeping track of inventory and banking, I need something that's very quick. It might be better to use AWS instead. So, but we'll see when we get to that. Damn, dude, we're at 19. This is live programming 19, part 12 of the MMO series, and our network foundation has come a far way. So this was cool. I'm just thinking ahead here, but yeah, alright guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys later, and I'll answer some of your questions a little bit. Let me check the chat here. Yeah, Visual Studio's gonna be a pain in the ass. I rock. Dude, help me develop my game. Prefer? Yeah, I prefer Unity. Yeah, Unity is just better. I don't work with Node.js. I'm not a full stack engineer. I don't like web technologies. PHP is really the only one that I'm somewhat decent at. Like as you can see, the stuff I'm doing now with the login stuff, and I can read PHP, but I can't really do anything advanced other than what we're currently doing here with PHP. Yeah, so a Heroku server. Our Heroku server is good for if I want to have like I could set up a Heroku server and basically have that manage my usernames and have all of my stuff. Heroku server is basically the same thing as Amazon. It's basically a hosted platform to where I can have persistent data of my clients and so forth like that. Heroku works really well in a business environment, but for games, AWS Gaming, they have like a section dedicated to games, so I'm going to use their services. Plus it should be free up until I get like users actually logging in. So that'll be cool. Alright, Ultra, hey, have a good night, man. I'll see you guys later.